Hi, this is Tim from Chasing Trails Outdoors with this episode of Gear Talk, my video segment series where we share with you and review equipment that we use in the field. Cellular cameras are becoming more and more popular with hunters in the field. SPYPOINT has come out with a great piece of technology that will allow any hunter to upgrade their gear without breaking the bank. The Cell Link by SPYPOINT is a great piece of gear that allows you to use it with just about any camera out there. Your camera is going to work normally. It's going to take the picture, it's going to put it to the SD card slot. Now this specialized SD card is going to transfer it through to the Cell Link. The Cell Link will save it to the micro SD card that's in this. Now, once it's saved, the device will then resize it and ship it off through the cellular network. This shows up on your app, and there you go. Real simple. Now this is going to leave a lot of room for questions. So I went through Facebook to a few different groups that people were asking questions about this, and I found some of the more common pain points that people were seeing to help give you that information now so that it doesn't become a worry. The watertight seal on your camera is vitally important. SPYPOINT knows this, and they thought ahead. Knowing that this cable has to come out, they made this rubberized wire designed to help reseal your camera. So it melds in with the existing seal, making it watertight. This has been tested. I've tested it on my camera outside when I had it out for a couple of days. It worked. My camera stayed dry. Another pain point I came across on one of the groups is what happens if your camera loses connection? Well, like a cell camera, and just like the Link, if it loses connection, the camera is going to take the picture and it's still going to function like a normal camera and save it to the micro SD card on the Cell Link. Another question I got was video. Unfortunately, no, the Cell Link does not send video over the network. The file size is just too big. Where SPYPOINT already handles the cellular side of things for you, they have to make sure they're keeping the costs low, so images only. Now, when it comes to mounting this to the tree, one of the comments I saw was, oh, I thought this was going to be one contained unit. Well, guess what, guys? It's not. And that's maybe not a bad thing, because when you want to maybe move this around from site to site sometimes, depending if you only have one Cell Link, you don't want to have to take out a whole bracket, remove the camera, put another camera in, move that. Real simple. You unplug it, pop in your SD card back into your camera, close it, it's ready to go. You take this, take it to the other camera, set it up, you're ready to go. Real simple. This mounts just like a camera does. You've got a belt loop, you've got your connection pieces on the back and on the bottom, and we'll get more into that in a second. Now let's check out the unit itself. So the camera has standard aerial, which can also be upgraded for the extended aerial. You have your 12 volt connector right here, so if you want to upgrade your power supply, you can. And it's also got, when you don't have it, it's got the rubberized plug for it. One of the things I like about the SPYPOINT cameras as well is they thought ahead in terms of security. So all the cameras they have, and as well as the Cell Link, they have the lock cable or cable lock loop here. Now what's great about these as well is they also think about your SD card. So as part of the locking mechanism is the actual lock loop. So you put it through and it can't open the door, let alone steal a camera very easily. Now this camera does take a micro SD, so not a standard SD card, it takes a micro SD, class 10, just like all their cameras. One of the reasons I should say, as to why they want the class 10. Class 10 saves to a specific format that works with the cameras. You want 2 gig to 32 gig. This one here has a 32 gig card in it that I just ordered brand new. So we have field tested the Cell Link. So I have 3 different types of non-cellular cameras. The first one I tried it out on. I actually took it out and put it in the woods for a couple of days. Put this at our bear site. This test lasted 2 days. One of those days included rain. The seal worked great. The images all went through no problem. And just honestly, the device worked flawlessly. I couldn't ask for more. It worked great. It was easy to set up. And everything worked fine. Now, the other camera that I have a Wildgame Innovations camera. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you this one is because this one's got a little bit of a different door. Every camera is different. Some of them are pretty general, but this one has a pretty unique door. So as you see, it's got a standard flat seal, but then you've got all, you know, it's contoured differently. So when you put it in, here's what the cable looks like. That's your SD card connector. So I'm going to put this in, but now if I put it up the front, like it's got to go in, then down, and up and around. Okay, my worry becomes, how is this going to close? I mean, it's a wire, it's going to get in the way. So I look at how my camera is set up, and I think my best way to do this is to run it out the back. So I set it up. I have a little bit of room there to make sure my cable has extra room. Push it down. It is a little bit harder to seal and close, but I've locked it. There it is. Now this runs up the back. The seal is done, and the camera works. I did test this here in the house. Here's a couple of pictures of what we got. And the last camera I tried it on was my Force 20. This is currently set up out in the field right now with testing going on, and I wanted to try this one out for a little bit longer. So that one's out, and although it's not part of this video, it is being tested. I did set it up today, and so far no issues there. The Cell Link is a revolutionary piece of technology. In a market swarming with overly priced goods, this is an affordable piece of kit that will help any hunter take their scouting to the next level. All of SPYPOINT's Link series cameras are all run by the app. Okay, the app has a lot of great features in it, and real simple, the Cell Link works just like they do. You can go through and search your images, you can check them, you can change the settings, you can change how often it sends you pictures. It's a great app and has a lot of cool features that I really enjoy having. Now, like any other piece of equipment, sometimes things do happen. A lemon may come in the mail, a piece of kit may break. Guess what? These things happen. When it comes to the camera's functionality, a couple of key things to remember. Number one, your SD card. Did you use an old one? Is it a class 10? These are things you got to think of. I prefer a new camera gets its own individualized card, and I use that card for that camera only. I format it using not the quick format, but a standard formatting process. I pop it in the camera, and away we go. If you don't have a properly formatted card, or sometimes just anything, the card, if it's not quite right, the camera won't work properly, or the Cell Link won't work properly. Next is the SIM card. So there is a SIM card inside of it. It's behind the battery pack. Check it, make sure it's popped in there properly. Third one is firmware. That is the operating software of the device. This works like a computer, like your cell phone, right? It has a software that runs it. It needs to be up to date. Sometimes SPYPOINT releases updates, and sometimes if you miss a couple, that's fine, your camera won't work, but then when they launch another one, all of a sudden your device stops working. Well, that can happen. It's technology, it's computers. That stuff happens. So make sure that your firmware is updated. All easily done. The instructions are simple to follow. Just check the SPYPOINT website. Overall, guys, I really think that SPYPOINT hit it out of the park with the Cell Link. Listen, anybody on a budget can afford this. It's not crazy expensive. It's $79.99. It's actually cheaper than a lot of other cameras out in the market. Taking your standard little old camera and stepping up the game for it. Listen, if you have any other questions, feel free to send them to me. Or if you want to get more information, check out the website at www.spypoint.com. This is Tim from Gear Talk. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a great day.